Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at the brink of ruin, understanding the US-Iran ultimatum. The Middle East is navigating this rapidly escalating geopolitical standoff right now, and honestly, international observers are holding their collective breath. We're seeing a really fragile diplomatic framework starting to crack. So we're going to break down the exact demands, these recent threats, and look at exactly why the stakes have literally never been higher. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. The spark for this sudden spike in anxiety, it's a fiery post by US President Donald Trump. He flat out stated, "Move fast or there will be nothing left. Time is of the essence." Now, geopolitical analysts are looking at this specific rhetoric and interpreting it as a direct threat of massive military escalation. It's the kind of explosive statement that is seriously shaking up an already super delicate peace process. Which naturally brings us to the massive question that's sweeping the international community right now. Is the world moving toward another catastrophic war? People, governments, and global markets are all asking if Washington and Tehran are just days away from a total head-on confrontation. Are global energy markets about to just crash into total chaos? This anxiety isn't some hypothetical scenario, guys. It is an immediate, incredibly pressing concern. To really understand how we got to this boiling point, we've got to look at the immediate context. This warning didn't just drop out of nowhere. It actually follows reports of President Trump speaking directly with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. As tensions are rising across the entire region, reports are showing that both Washington and Tel Aviv are getting incredibly frustrated with the painfully slow pace of these negotiations. You can practically feel that the window for diplomacy is closing fast. Now, impartially looking at the other side of the table, Iranian media is claiming that Tehran submitted a peace proposal that they categorize as, quote, responsible and generous. But the White House allegedly rejected major parts of this framework. Because of that rejection, Iran is insisting that the United States is the one refusing to make any meaningful compromises. So now, Iranian officials are issuing their own warnings, making it absolutely clear that negotiations are going to hit a complete deadlock if Washington refuses to soften its demands. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just the stark, sheer incompatibility of what both sides are aggressively demanding. I mean, the deadlock makes total sense when you look at it. On one side, Tehran is demanding a complete halt to Israeli military attacks, an immediate end to the US naval blockade, and control over the Strait of Hormuz. On the completely opposite side, Washington's tough conditions demand that Iran dismantle its nuclear program and transfer its enriched uranium stockpile under really strict supervision. They are practically having two entirely different conversations. Tehran is fighting for regional sovereignty and economic survival, while Washington is strictly focused on nuclear non-proliferation. And this brilliantly illustrates why one specific demand from Tehran is causing massive international panic. We're talking about full control over the Strait of Hormuz. Look at this. Nearly 20% of the entire world's global oil and gas supply passes through this exact waterway every single day. Any shift in control there wouldn't just change regional dynamics, it would be a huge, immediate shock to the global supply chain, seriously hitting energy markets all across Europe and Asia. While the diplomats are completely stalled, the actual physical battleground is heating up fast. US naval forces are heavily deployed right near Iranian waters, and Israeli forces are continuing operations targeting Iran-backed groups. Technically, a ceasefire that was announced earlier this year is supposed to still be in place, but practically, the reality on the ground is just repeated exchanges of fire and massive military deployments keeping everyone on edge. The gap between what's on paper and the military reality is widening by the hour. Let's move to and see how this builds on historical precedent. Trump has previously warned that a, quote, whole civilization could die if Iran refused to agree to a deal. We're not just talking about localized skirmishes here. The rhetoric points toward devastating, wide-scale destruction. So these latest comments are really fueling deep fears among observers that military action could return on a much, much larger scale than anything we've seen recently. So the crucial point is really the cascading effects if these talks totally collapse. We'd see oil prices surging to record highs, global shipping routes would essentially grind to a halt, you'd see regional proxy militias entering the fray, turning a standoff into just a chaotic, multi-front battle. And inevitably, multiple countries get dragged into a direct war. This isn't just a distant conflict. This has the potential to instantly destabilize the global economy and crash local economies everywhere. Now, despite all of this escalating tension, there is still one very thin diplomatic thread hanging on.
Pakistan is reportedly conducting these quiet, behind-the-scenes mediation efforts between Washington and Tehran. It's a fragile attempt to pull both sides back from the absolute edge. But to be totally honest, diplomats close to the situation are reporting a pretty stark reality. Even with Pakistan's help, Washington and Tehran remain dangerously far apart on almost every single key issue.
Which leaves us here with one critical question. Will this Pakistani mediation actually succeed? Or is the clock finally running out on peace? We are all watching a high-stakes standoff, where the line between a massive diplomatic breakthrough and total confrontation is razor thin. One miscalculation, just one wrong move, could ignite a conflict far larger than anyone is ready for. It's a ticking clock, and we'll be watching closely.